So that's the strategy. And if you just look at it for a little bit of time, use the 2 hour, establish a direction and momentum with your 2 hour understanding. Wait for the 30-minute to align to that same direction. Then go to the 5-minute and look for a volume confluence. That's normally your entry. Look at how much this one would have played out. But if you do this later on in the day, the win rate drops down. The first 2 hours of the market are the golden hours. All right, we're going to go over a strategy that involves the 5-minute chart, the 30-minute chart, and the 2-hour charts. Now, notice we can't really see the charts because we're actually just going to be using momentum. We're going to be aligning the momentum on these higher time frames, and then we're going to look at how the 5-minute plays around with VWAP, which is this purple line. And we're just going to look at this simple strategy. One variable here, momentum on 2 hour. One variable here, the momentum on the 30-minute time frame. And then the final variable, which is the 5-minute chart and the VWAP. So we're going to start with the beginning of the market right here. This is the beginning of the market. Our MACD in the 30 has been tapering, but we're holding an upward direction. The 2-minute, or the 2 hour rather, is aligned. So that means we're in a strong upward current as the market is opening. That's what's happening. Looking at the pre-market action overnight, you can see that overnight we hit a low. This is the end of yesterday's market. This was the overnight action. We hit a low and then a very abrupt, look at how abrupt this is. We really retraced back to this 84 EMA line. So this is a huge, retracements like this don't happen for no reason, okay? So that's significant. So now this is the beginning of the day. We have this significant understanding of this really strong rejection and retracement upwards. Strong current is what I'm trying to tell you. We're in the middle of a strong current. So we take this 5-minute and we look at how it plays with this this VWAP here. Okay, so we pull up, come down, back through it, we consolidate. We don't make lower lows. We make higher lows. Then we come right back through it again. Come back down. This is a wedge. You can see the wedge in your mind. This is a wedge going on. We're consolidating on a 5-minute with this VWAP. We're making a wedge, consolidating. Okay? This is telling you that no matter what happens here, you are expecting, you're hoping, you're planning on looking for this to manifest as an upward move. That's what you're planning on. This is the strategy. If these were not aligned, you wouldn't be taking trades. If these are aligned, in this case to the upside, you're looking for upward opportunities. So you're waiting, it pops above, comes down, pops above again, comes down, makes another higher low, and it breaks this wedge. This is, my friend, a simple strategy you can use. We're going to go over one more opportunity. So for this example, you would target a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm still working on the numbers right now. But regardless, you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to go over the previous day as well, okay? The previous day. This is February 5th now, 2026. What do you see? The 2 hour, the major current going down. At market open, what do you see? This is the market open right here. This purple line, market open right here. We have a strong downward current as well. We are aligned as the market is open. So we're looking for downward opportunities to short. Notice how the 5-minute price action plays around with this VWAP line. So for example, you see this 5-minute popped up, coming back down, penetrated through the VWAP, penetrated through. What do you notice on the very next candle? The very next volume candle is a spike, a literal power volume bar greater than the previous three. We're on the, we're moving down with this MACD, we're aligned. So you could enter at the penetration of the VWAP. You could enter when the candle concludes. You could enter when you get a volume confluence. Okay, this would have been a great example. Look what happens later on in the day. We come back, we penetrate through again right here. We're not on the right side of the momentum here, so it's not like you would just short for no reason. You don't just immediately short. You want to have some volume confluence. You want to have the MACD of the 5-minute going with the trade. You don't want to blindly. So my point is, by the time we get to right here, we come up, we bounce back down, barely touch. We don't have a volume confluence. There's no volume confluence going on. The 30-minute MACD is super strong going against this trade, not telling us to short really yet. But look what happens later. Look, we stall, the momentum stalls, and look what happens. It starts to taper back down, just like the 2-hour is telling us to be looking out for. 2-hour, major current, 30-minute, medium current, 5-minute, where the trades happen. So look what happens. Right here, it starts to taper off, and it comes right back down. We're going to go to that point here. Right around here. Now it's tapering back down. Right here. Do you notice anything interesting with this VWAP? What do you know? The VWAP happens to be right where we are. We're on the right side of the momentum right here. And look what happened just here. What do you see? A volume bar greater than the previous three. The very candle that penetrated the VWAP had a volume confluence on the right side of the momentum. As this was tapering down, hadn't concluded yet, so it was a little bit early. If we go forward a little bit, now it has concluded. Now we're seeing that we are losing momentum. Still on the right side of the momentum here. A little bit of fighting. Right here we get a volume confluence, a volume bar greater than the previous three. This would have been an entry right here. We rejected off of the VWAP. We're carrying down towards the direction of our trade. Another 1-to-1. Using the candle, using the stop in the candle, this would have been easily a 2-to-1 win. Perhaps even a 1-to-1 win. This is the strategy I'm talking about. Right here, we start to align big time with the 30-minute. Look, right here. Now we're really starting to cross over. Now we have crossed over. Got 30 minutes left in the market. We've crossed over. Now we're aligned with our major current. We're away from the VWAP at this point, unfortunately. But what happened just a little bit ago? What do you see? Right here, this candle, this fat candle, volume confluence, volume bar greater than the previous three. On the right side of the momentum. This is in the process of flipping over. That would have been another trade. We just rejected off of VWAP. Look at this. We passed, penetrated straight through VWAP. We're going to go over one more market day so it can become even more clear for you. And just to give another example. Never hurts to go over examples. You can see the VWAP here. I'm going to make the 30-minute a little bit bigger so we can go. Here's the 30-minute. What's our large current? Well, we always start with a 2-hour. What's our large current? Our large current is we're going down. Look at this. This is the MACD line. We're going down. Yeah, we had some tapering in the histogram recently and the overnight action, the overnight price action. But as the market opens, like the first 30 minutes, the first 5 minutes of the market, we have we have a big move down. Big move down in the beginning of the market. So that sets the tone, reestablishing the downward momentum. So we've got some downward momentum. The 30-minute immediately aligned. So now we've got our permission to look for trades to the downside using a VWAP and a 5-minute chart. We're on the chart. Here's the 5-minute chart. Look at what happened. Just watch how the candles play with this VWAP. Look, consolidation, drop below, come back, consolidation. We're holding onto the VWAP, drop back below. See what's going on here? Do you think you could find an opportunity in that information to take a trade, knowing that we're looking for short positions? You're looking for short positions, short opportunities. Look what happens right here. Watch this. We use the VWAP like always. I'm going to delete these so that we can see this better. Bear with me. Okay, we've got this VWAP. After this concludes the first 30 minutes, which is about right here, we've seen that there's a consolidation. The 5-minute playing around with the VWAP comes back. Now it's retracing back to the VWAP, and now it's touching the VWAP again. Look at our momentum. Now we want to wait for a volume confluence, a volume bar greater than the previous 3. Okay, that's what we want to wait for. Do you see it? I see it. Do you see it? Look what happens right here. A volume bar, not green, obviously, because we're looking for short positions. We're looking to go short. This volume bar greater than the previous 3. Momentum is aligning and building with us. This candle right here was the entry. We rejected off of VWAP. We're looking for shorts. We rejected. We're going away from VWAP. We are breaking the previous lows. Here's a low. Here's a low. We're breaking these lows. This is the candle right here. This was the entry. So that's the strategy. And if you just look at it for a little bit of time, use the 2-hour, establish a direction and momentum with your 2-hour understanding. Wait for the 30-minute to align to that same direction. Then go to the 5-minute and look for a volume confluence. That's normally your entry. Look at how much this one would have played out. But if you do this later on in the day, the win rate drops down. The first 2 hours of the market are the golden hours. Take care now. See you in the next one.